This is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome in to Coach and Company here. We are live on a Sunday. It is week, 8 in the NFL. Teams are now starting to really separate themselves from the packs. We got a ton of games to talk about, best bets. And I'm telling you right, today starts our week. Normally, we say Monday. I'm putting last week in the rear view. We're putting last week. Now, we had a ton of cash tickets on our primetime shows. If you want to become a premium member, I encourage you to do it this coming week. Probably 2 or 3 nights will be live in the evening. So scan that QR code. It pays for itself in 1 or 2 live bets. It's so much fun. Speaking of nighttime shows, tonight we will be live. How do you have Packers and the Steelers and not have a live show? So we'll be live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time to recap all of the day's actions. Look forward to Sunday night football. All right, let's get to it. Let's bring my boys in. We're not doing any trans today. No, we're going right to it. We're laser focused. Who do I got with me today? My guys, first and foremost. Now, the winning streak is not over, but man, when an upset special, getting 7, up 17 in the fourth quarter. Mikey, a push with Mississippi State. Gut-wrenching for our Saturday show. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, absolutely gut-wrenching. And I don't want to add insult to injury, but I told you guys how I felt about Arch Manning, and then Texas gave me the middle finger right back. So I was 50-50 here, and we'll just push it to the side. But you're right. We haven't lost in 7 weeks, so now I have to change our verbiage.
Oh, man. And how about he's in the tent as they're winning the game in overtime on top of that. And then nearly a scoop and score on the last play of overtime, which would have meant absolutely nothing. But we move on. So that's 6-0-1, Mikey. We'll take 6-0-1. All right, next. He's our numbers guy for a reason. He keeps us honest here on Sunday mornings as the lines are popping. The lines are moving. Say good morning to Rafael Esparza. Good morning, Rafael.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, family. I'm going to count that as a W in my eyes for you guys, because most people who are watching that show had the opportunity to grab the 7.5, even the 8, 2 hours before kickoff. So in my eyes, in my heart, in my wallet, you guys won.
Thank you. You see that, Mikey? Smile. Say, you're damn right. Most of America won with your upset special. Does that make you feel good, Mikey?
Yeah, no, it makes me feel great. Obviously, I have more reason to brag. I have more reason to annoy you guys. 7 in a row, guys. 7 in a row. We've won 7 weeks in a row. I told you.
Raphael, maybe we don't do that next time. We just leave
Coach.
it for what it is. All right, let's get into it. We got best bets today, and I tell you what, I had to have a come to Jesus with myself because I thought I had some really good picks this week, but when the game's completely different from the narrative, it's really, really hard. It's why, guys, they say the NFL is probably the toughest or football sport to bet on. Though last night I hit several, but I'm focused on today. So, Raphael, I want to start with you. What are your best bets? Where are they headed today?
We're going a perfect 3-0 to start Sunday. That's right, Coach. We're going 3-0. In the first one, we're going to Eagles first quarter -0.5, -3 nickels. Nothing's better than a division revenge game because we know what happened in week 6 when the Giants beat the Eagles in New York 34-17. I think the Eagles stay hot. I think the Eagles come out hot. And don't forget, there's a little trade deadline approaching on us. I think one guy, maybe the Eagles, might have a really good game. All right, might have a pep talk in the locker room. I don't think he is playing. I forgot about that. In a pep talk for the locker room to get the Eagles a W. And the Eagles winning their last 12 home games against the Giants. I think they start off hot and win this game. And then give me the Cowboys-Broncos over 51. This game will close at 52. Why do you ask? Because the Cowboys defense sucks. That's why we're going to see tons of points scored. Even Bo Nix is going to look like Joe Montana against the Dallas Cowboys defense. I just think this game flies over the total. The Cowboys' last 4 games, they're averaging 37 points per game. Yeah, their defense sucks, but Dak Prescott having a really good season. And then Drake May over 28.5 rushing yards. Just want to open up at 25.5. We're looking for 3 straight quarterback rushing yards, check marks, because we had 2 last 2 weeks. This will be a third one.
All right. Very, very good. I like a lot of those. The over in the Cowboys game is kind of like, death and taxes. This has become an automatic lately. Jerry Jones loves himself a little number 4. He loves himself number 4 in Pro Town. All right, Raphael, good start. I'm going to go next because I'm kind of playing off your analysis, and maybe I'm the sucker. Maybe I am. But as you look at games, I looked at the Giants as 3.5 quarters of dominance last week. So if I look at that and I partner that with the last 3 weeks, the Giants are the play for the full game today in Philadelphia. Plus, I'm getting the hook. Yeah, I got to lay 20 cents, but I'm okay with that. The only concern I have is the emotional bounce back from that particular loss. But when you're super young, you forget about things very, very, very quickly. And who knows, maybe you go out and get a grill put on during the week. If you know Cam Scattaboo, you know Cam Scattaboo. Then I got a little teaser. Cowboys plus 9.5. They're getting 3.5 at Denver. If you told me Denver can beat the Cowboys by 10, go out and prove it to me. Then the Bears. There's no Lamar Jackson today. And they're still getting points right now. At a lot of books, it's 2.5. So you can get that part of the teaser at 8.5 if you so choose. Then I got 2 prop bets. Jackson Dart, he's gone over 280 the last 2 weeks. I like his number. And then Jamar Chase over 7.5 catches. It's going to be a brutal game today between the Browns and the Bengals. But I think Joe Flacco finds him early and often. Last week, 16. All right, Mikey P, big boy, coming over to you. What do you got?
Well, Coach, when there's very bad teams and very bad quarterbacks, this might be hard to convince a lot of people on, but they're very bad. So I think we're going to get the over 44.5 in the Jets and Bengals game. Aaron Glenn will still not tell us who the starting quarterback is. No, it will be Justin Fields. And then DeAndre Swift taking on the Baltimore Ravens. He's gone over 100 rushing yards in his last 2 games. Baltimore ranks 32nd in the league. Would have ever thought I'd say that in rushing defense. So we're taking them over 71.5 rush and receiving yards. I couldn't believe it, so I took it. And then give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. First half team total over 13.5. They're playing the Saints. That's all I really have to say there. And then while CeeDee Lamb is back, Pat Surtain of the Broncos will be on him. So I'm looking at the other star wide receiver in Big D, George Pickens, over 56.5 receiving yards.
All right, I don't mind that. I like that analysis quite
Coach,
a bit.
Really quickly, your play on the 7.5 on the Giants. Vegas moved 1 to 8 this morning. So yes, it's a noon kickoff. I would say maybe if other suits might follow, we might get another 8 because a lot of teaser action coming in on that side. We could see more 8s pop up.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You take it down to 1.5. I could see the Eagles being a good teaser leg there, even though I like the. Am I crazy for the 7.5, Raphael? I just feel like, and we're going to get more into the game. I just feel like they dominated the Eagles 3 weeks ago, and I know they've gotten better, but I love that number.
Not really. It's a division game. You usually don't see that big of a blowout division games. And this is not the Giants team we thought we were going to see all season long because of the rookie sensations they have on the field. So I can see the defense keeping this close. I can see the Eagles winning by like maybe 6 points or less.
Okay. Very good. We'll get into that game here in a few minutes. By the way, when you come in to watch on YouTube, could you do me a favor? Hit that like button. If you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that as well. Hit that like button and share, as we are here 7 days a week during the football season. All right, I want to start right at the top. We're going to start leaning in more to storylines as the season progresses. And there's no bigger storyline than what's going on tonight at 8:20 p.m. Eastern time, as the Steelers. In the NFL, you could have manipulated this one. You could have put this one in Lambeau. You could have. They could have. It's kind of like putting John Cena in Washington for his last match. What are we doing? What are we doing? But before we get to that game, for some reason, in my gut, I feel like, Mike, you have something more. I feel like it is, as I'm looking to my left, Hannah Storm is sitting down with George Kittle on Sunday NFL Countdown. And there's a big thing that says National Tight Ends Day. And if I know you like I think I know you, you probably did something for this day. Am I right?
National Tight Ends Day on a Sunday? Absolutely, I did. I've got 4 tight ends. I put a parlay together for all 4 of them. Let's start here with the hottest and most exciting tight end in all of football. That's rookie Tyler Warren. We're going to take him over 4.5 receptions, 57.5 yards, and 1 touchdown. That's only a plus 225. And then the man who gave birth to the national holiday, the man we should be saying thank you to. I know he didn't catch a single pass last week, but George Kittle, welcome to your day. This is your life, if I could, Coach. George Kittle, over 4.5 receptions, 56.5 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown at plus 350. And, Coach, you mentioned it. Packers, Steelers, Tucker Kraft. I bet you Aaron Rodgers wishes he had him when he was in Green Bay. Over 4.5 receptions, 52.5 yards, and a touchdown. And then the almighty Jake Ferguson, over 5.5 receptions, just 39.5 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown.
And just to be clear, we are not recommending people play all 4 of these. Just kind of giving them options, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Don't sit here and play all 4. Maybe mix and match how you like those. But when I looked at those numbers, I looked at those odds, and I looked who they were, they all made the most sense out of. When I looked at all the tight ends, Coach, those 4, never mind.
Oh, my God. I can't even imagine the amount of time that you spent on that, and also the time laughing, knowing that it was going to make Raphael's head pop off his shoulders, giving out 4 different SGPs on the same show. How do you feel about that, Raphael?
I can't imagine bookmakers and odds makers right now just seeing all that tight end action coming in just because of storylines on ESPN and what Mikey P just did. So they're probably hoping for a bad tight end day.
Wait a second. Did Tucker Kraft talk to what? All right, Mikey, I appreciate the extra work. I may partake with one of those. I think the Packers one is the one I'm going to go with. All right,
I agree.
You like that one the best?
That and the Cowboys one, those 2.
Okay. Let's start right there then. Sunday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers, I think he has made a conscious effort to not talk this year, not give any headlines this year, just go and play. And I think it's really in line with how the Steelers go about their work. Mike Tomlin has always gone about his work. So 4-1-1 are the Packers. 4-2 are the Steelers, but coming off really a bad loss where they were giving 7 or 8 points, and then the Bengals and Joe Flacco really put it on them. So, Raphael, I want to start with you, because does it change the number or the perception, the fact that this game is in Pittsburgh, but yet the Packers to the books are still the clear favorite, and if this one was in Green Bay, it'd be 6?
Yeah, I think if Green Bay had maybe bigger dominating wins, we could see a totally different number. And that's why I think we see this number go down to 2.5. 2 books already have 2.5 because they're taking a buttload of Steelers money and Steelers money line money coming into this game. So if you like Green Bay, I say wait, you can get better money line number and a probably better number in general. So I'm a little bit shocked on why it's not 2.5 now, what I saw last night.
All right, very good. Mikey, let me come over to you, because the Packers, I feel like, are kind of the forgotten really good team this year. Everybody's talking about the Lions and them being up and down, and the Bears having a winning record. But it's the Packers right now that sit in first place, and that tie may end up down the road coming back to help them.
Yeah, it could. But I think the reason they don't get the respect and love that they deserve, kind of speaking, is that they've lost to Joe Flacco once. They almost lost to him twice, and then they almost lost to Jacoby Brissett. Now, I know almost don't count in the standings, but I don't think they've put on their best performances in games that they should easily win. And, Coach, as much as I despise Aaron Rodgers and the discount double check, I am hammering the Steelers on this one because I despise the Green Bay Packers more. I'm still going to be a fan right now. So give me the Steelers on the money line. Give me the greatest game we've ever seen out of Aaron Rodgers as he takes on the Packers tonight.
I have not heard nor seen the discount double check in a minute.
You know why? Because he's not in Green Bay playing the Bears. Let's never forget he's looking at Soldier Field crowd going, I still own you. That's great.
Man. I just wish this game was at Lambeau. I really, really do. But everything that he's doing right now, with the exception of a couple of games, I don't think, to me, I would never back the Steelers for any long-term success. But at 4-2, can't we agree that they're a little bit better than what we thought they were going to be when he signed in all the way into July? I mean, we didn't think they were going to be this good, and they're in first place right now.
And DK Metcalf is having a season. It's so funny what happens when you get a star receiver, Philly, and you feed him the ball. You hear no noise. You see team success and an offense that runs smoothly. I love it.
Yeah. Eagles.
Rumors are coming out. Pittsburgh wins this game. They will pick up some more offensive weapons in the next couple of days since the trade deadline is next week.
Rumors. Are you Adam Schefter now?
Well, I'm just saying they're probably the most active team on the phone trying to pick up more offensive weapons. We'll put it that way.
Very interesting. All right, Raphael. Next game, Bills, Panthers. And who would have thought when the Bills were one of the last two undefeated teams with the Eagles that now, all these weeks later, both of these teams would have 2 losses. Now, the Panthers, they're at 4-3 in an NFC South division that's very much up in the air. So, Raphael, let me start with you because this is a Bills team that no longer is like, we're a lock for that number 1 seed. They got to figure out what the hell they are doing and how they beat these medium teams because the Patriots just went to their house and laid it on them. What do you make of tonight?
I'm blown away that we're still getting 7 on Buffalo. They do not deserve a 7. How their defense has played all season long. That's why money's coming in on Carolina. And I think money will continue to come on Carolina. This one won't drop. It's going to be a solid 7, but keep an eye out for the money line for Carolina. They've been playing really well. If this dip down to plus $3, it's going to be very interesting because it'll be the first time ever that a Carolina at plus 7 will be a plus $3 underdog. That just tells me that they have no trust with Buffalo's defense right now.
Yeah, it's just that number's like a blinking red light to me. I'm also thinking in my head right now, Mikey, what about a teaser selection or making the Panthers that? Because you'd get plus 13, and it's really hard to believe. But every time I say, oh, a teaser's a lock, then a team goes out there and blows the doors off of them. I could see the Bills doing that. I don't think they will, but I could see them doing that. Where is your mind taking you as far as a bet in this game?
Honestly, it's going to be strictly on the over because I do believe the Panthers will make this a more competitive game, but I'm also scared that the Bills might finally wake up. I'm very, very interested to see the Carolina run game. And I'm not, don't make me do it, coach. But when Rico is in the backfield, he changes the energy and the vibe. I heard it on the broadcast, and then I watched the game last week, and it made a lot of sense. When Rico comes in, he runs violently, angrily, and it seems to kind of influence the entire offense. So if you bring him in to try to punch the Bills defense in the mouth, I think it becomes a lot closer game, and I think the Panthers are a lot more competitive.
Is it 2 straight? He didn't have over 200 last week. It was the 2 games before that.
Yeah, it was 2 games before that. Yep.
Okay, great. And what was his last name again?
Rico. Charges.
Everybody's got their hitch. For some reason, Dowdle is your hitch.
Dowdle.
I don't know why. No, that's not it. That's not correct.
That's literally what you just said.
Dowdle. Rico Dowdle. No. Say it again.
Dowdle.
Raphael, what world am I living in right now? Is even It's Soupy's world. All right, I'm gonna let that go because in Soupy's world, you just never know. You just never know. All right, game number 3, and this is one of my best bets. Raphael's on this in the first quarter. This could be the most we don't know what's gonna happen game of the entire day. The Giants beat the Eagles on Thursday Night Football by 17. They then went to Denver and they were up 18 halfway through the fourth quarter. We're like, man, the Giants are going to be 3-4. They're going to be right in this thing. And then they have one of the most historic fall offs a cliff, collapses in NFL history. So it begs the question, Raphael, how do the Giants bounce back emotionally? Also, we got a bunch of big number fines. Brian Dable, 100 large. Scatterbo. I mean, we've got guys that are paying money out this week as well. Your take?
Yeah, that's what kind of scares me when you're looking at taking maybe the Giants. But if this moves to +8, which I do believe it will, then I say grab it. Who would have thought week 8, we'll be talking Buffalo's defense question marks and the Eagles offense having question marks. It just blows my mind how 2 teams are just fading away and looking at, is this the week we're going to see them finally come through? This is the same thing for me, the Eagles. Is this the week we're going to finally see this is the Super Bowl champs coming out on week 8? I just have too many question marks. That's why I like the Eagles first quarter and first half. I think they start off hot. Now, can they end the game hot? That's a different question.
Well, I do know that Jalen Hurts played the best game of his season so far last year. Does that translate into another good performance today? I don't know, but I know this. I don't play any props on Jalen Hurts because, Mikey, we never know what the game plan is going to be. Saquon, use him. Let's not use him for 3 weeks. Jalen Hurts in the air is kind of the same way. And then now A.J. Brown's been battling an injury. What do we make of this Eagles team coming in at 5-2, still in first place, though?
Honestly, if you like anything on the Eagles, you got to either take the points or you got to take the total in this game, because I'm staying away from every single player prop. As much as we want to look at the revenge factor for Saquon going up against his former team, I think we've buried that. When you get a nice little shiny ring, I think you kind of stick it to your former team. And if you go and look at the head-to-head history between Saquon and his old team, the numbers do not pop off the charts like you would expect. So the Eagles haven't used them, and he's not having the success many expected him to have. I stay away from Saquon. And if no A.J. Brown, I don't know how you can key in on Devonta Smith. So I stay away from all player props. I like the over in this game, but I think Giants player prop heavy for me in this one.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way. I almost went back to the well with Cam Scatterbo because he's been an absolute cash register with his rushing numbers and his combo number as well. But then this week I realized I just don't know if Cam is focused on the game. Do you guys see the grills that this man went out and got? The nobody saw it?
Yeah,
No, I mean, I saw it. I heard Rafi before our show started. He said he's doing it next week. But listen, I think that means he's more locked in.
I feel like I do too, but I also feel like, was that before the fine came out? Because he for a rookie, that's a lot of money that he's having to pay just because. What? No, it was who? It was Coach.
It was Scatterbo. It was Dable, and then the Giants as an organization got fined $200,000. But Coach, you're burying the lead. Actually, what they did was they took off a few diamonds from Jackson Dart's chain that he wears during the game, and they put them on Scatterbo's mouth.
That is hilarious. All right. I love this dude. I think this dude, if done right, he could be a marketing god in the NFL. He could be like Patrick Mahomes when it comes to 7, 8, 9 companies wanting to do business with him. Or, by the way, I noticed this last night. I don't know how the Mannings have cornered the market on every commercial and every company out there. But at some point, what do you think the over-under is on enough? Because Peyton Manning now has a suit company that he's with, Johnson and something, that I've never heard of before. But clearly they have enough money to hire Peyton Manning. Have you ever seen an athlete get more commercials than the Mannings, like combined?
I had a Super Bowl prop on how many Manning commercials last year's Super Bowl, so I'm sure I'll have one this year.
I mean, Eli's probably the underdog here. You know, Eli just signed, Jimmy Johns with little Danny DeVito, and it's just, I would love to know who their agents are, because convincing these companies, no, they don't have 8 other ones on the air right now. All right, moving on to game number 4. And Mikey, you get to start me on this one, big dog. You guys are probably the biggest surprise in the NFL right now, but yet no respect. And I mean no respect. When you're going to Baltimore, no Lamar Jackson, the Fighting Huntleys are going to be standing across the field, but yet the books say, no, we don't believe in Caleb Williams. We don't believe in the Chicago Bears. We're going to give you 2.5. How disrespected do you feel right now, Mikey P?
Coach, I'd love to sit here and give you professional analysis on this game, but if you see here, I'm going to just do this. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good gets better and your better gets best. Yes, the good, better, best that I'll be getting tattooed on me. I don't need us to be favorites in this game. We'll take the underdog role because we're not at our best just yet. Snoop Huntley, why are they getting points? Because he was a Pro Bowler 3 years ago. Derrick Henry just fumbled before the game started. The Bears lead the NFL in takeaways. There are a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball. The Bears will be without their top 2 cornerbacks. But in all seriousness, the Ravens defense is atrocious. And when you have an atrocious defense with a 4th-string quarterback, I like the Bears in every which way in this game.
If you're calling Huntley a 4th-string quarterback?
Well, let's see. Lamar counts for 2. Cooper Rush started before him. And then, yes, he's a 4th.
Okay. as far as props, when I see a game like this, I think of the word yuck. It's like nothing that I want to hit on. Raphael, from a numbers perspective, for me, this is the most fascinating one. It doesn't make sense, especially if you looked at the records. But why don't we just look at the records?
Yeah, if you look at this slate of game, you're like, this is a big question mark. This is a complete yuck game. Why is this game like a pick 'em or a 1.5, even though one
Mm-hmm.
book just moved it to 2 when Mikey was talking? I'm a little bit shocked that you could still get by half a point, still get +3 on the Bears, who have a better offensive side. And then you have all the injuries on the D side of Baltimore and their horrendous defense. I just don't understand how much love that the Bears are not getting in this game because of the injuries that the Baltimore has.
It it feels like right now, I think this season for me, when I'm looking at handicapping the NFL or even discussing the NFL, it's been a year of injuries. And the teams that are able to survive or have a backup come in like the Chargers and fill in better than the guy that we've lost. But in that same vein, I feel like the books are looking at it the same way. And they're like, wait a second, the Ravens aren't that bad. We plugged that that quarterback in. And I think this is an opportunity to really jump on the Bears, whether you want to play them at 2.5 or 3 or put them in at a teaser. I would love that too. There is not a universe, Mikey, that exists that I think the Bears could lose by 8.5. Clearly part of my teaser today. Is there in yours?
The only way the Ravens could win this game is Derrick Henry going back to Tennessee, putting on that jersey and becoming the NFL's rushing king for just one game. The Bears' run defense has been questionable at best throughout the season with all the injuries they've had, but I believe the defense is healthier than expected. Derrick Henry is Baltimore's only hope, and again, he just fumbled.
Walsey said, if it's yuck, let's move to the next game. It doesn't mean we can't cash tickets, Walsey. Can't mean we can't. I'm talking about props, not the whole game, not the game props. Come on, Walsey.
Ooh,
Still
I
waiting
like
for my rope.
what you did there.
Thank you. By the way, the chat queen said this. Please, Mikey, please do not get a tramp stamp. We do not need a tramp stamp from Mikey if you're going to start getting more tattoos. It would be on brand for you, though, to get a tattoo after you beat the Ravens and move to 5-2, because this might be the high point of your year.
Coach and company tramp stamp coming soon.
There goes breakfast.
It came right up, Raphael. It came right up. Game number 5. And this one, holy cow. Strictly storyline. Walsey, don't yell at me. There's a lot of shows that do all 15 games. Give me 3 minutes. Play it. The Dolphins, Tua is sick. The Falcons offense has looked sick. So Kirk Cousins, $180 million, all guaranteed, coming off a torn Achilles. One of the best contracts of all time, could be getting the start today. Raphael, let me start with you on this one. And also, when we talk about Mike McDaniel and what is his future, I don't want to lose any more of these post-game press conferences where he just talks like this and we're not sure. It's entertainment for me. Are we going to get more, or is he done if they lose today?
Man, I wish I could say yes, but I'm really excited to see what Kirk Cousins does today. I'm totally into this game because of that factor and that factor only. Yes, there's great games on besides this one, but this one has the interesting factor written all over it. Can Tua finally do something, sick or not sick? Can the Dolphins offense do anything, sick or not sick? Can Kirk Cousins be the Kirk Cousins we saw in Minnesota? This one just has interesting written all over it. Not gambling, but just interesting all over it.
I like that word. Interesting is very, very good. And right now, I think part of the reason, Mikey, they decided to make this change right now is that this is a division that the way the Bucs are fighting their injuries, that you could see 9-8, 8-9 compete for a playoff spot. You're seeing other teams, Flacco going from the Browns to the Bengals. There's a lot of teams, Mikey, there's only 2 teams that only have 1 loss. Everybody else has at least 2. That had to play a factor that the Falcons think they're still very much alive for this season.
Coach, I haven't been on Kiss Up Mountain in quite some time. So if you don't mind, before I start, I'm going to get back up on Kiss Up Mountain for you because you talk about all the years you've spent doing this business, being in broadcasting. You said we're not giving out picks for this game, storylines only, but you said Tua is sick. I thought he said, are the Dolphins going 2-6 today? Are they getting a win? I mean, that's just genius. I thought you were incredible right there. 2-6, however you want to do it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think I am very intrigued by what Kirk Cousins can do in this one. Drake London is questionable for this game, and I think that actually does matter. Now, the Falcons could just turn around and give it to Bijan Robinson, and Kirk Cousins could figure out, oh, maybe if I gave it to this guy more last year, I'd still have a starting job. But I think Bijan Robinson's the X factor in this game easily, and I do like the Falcons in this one.
Yeah, it feels like to me, maybe because they're not on national TV a lot, but the couple of primetime, or I've watched Bijan 2 times extensively this season already. This dude's the best running back in the league, boys. With all due respect to Saquon Barkley, this dude, rushing, receiving, an absolute beast. I mean, I cannot believe how fast he is, how quick he is, how he moves in these small holes with his offensive line. He's amazing. Now, whether or not they should be laying 7, we know they should not be laying 7 to anybody. So this is a pass, but the storylines today are very, very, very good. All right, the last game, and a reminder, we will be live tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, counting down to Sunday Night Football. And we'll be live sweating this one because it's the one of 2 4:25 Eastern games today. And I don't know, guys, who the real Dallas Cowboys are. Are they the team that scored 44 and beat the Commanders, or are they the team that gave up 30 and lost, Commanders, but then lost to the Panthers? Let me get that right. Because right now at 3-3-1, they could go in one of 2 different directions. Then on the other side, you have Denver. It's a miracle they're at 5-2. An historic comeback that we've never seen before. How do they keep that emotional high? So, Raphael, let me start with you, because right now the Cowboys getting 3.5. To me, this number is shocking. Shocking.
Well, how ironic. The first story we just ended, most tickets written for dollar-wise is the Atlanta Falcons. The second most tickets written dollar-wise is the Cowboys Broncos over. So how ironic that we're talking about this game and we just ended another game. I just think people are going to look at this game and just realize how bad the Cowboys defense is and going to look at that total. This total will be 52 or 52.5. That's why I think Denver Broncos money is going to come in on the money line. It's at -190. We'll probably see -$2 or higher by kickoff. Bo Nix versus Dak Prescott. It's going to be a very interesting matchup because we all know Dak Prescott, if he had a defense, he might be a top MVP candidate going right now.
Yeah, I don't think there's any arguing that fact. I think he absolutely probably would be the betting favorite right now. But he continues to score points and points and points. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around the Broncos as an over team. And I know they've had some over games. Clearly they have. But it just doesn't feel that way, Mikey. But the Cowboys, if they get going, and I don't think it's a coincidence that they really got revved up when CD came back in the lineup. And I disagree with you on him having a big day. I think he's going to have a gigantic day, but not enough for me to play it because I like your analysis. Should the Cowboys be getting 3.5? And do you agree putting them in a teaser is the best way to go?
I do agree putting them in a teaser is the best way to go, but because I am a psycho, give me the +3.5. Thank you for putting the Cowboys at plus money because I absolutely love them in this game. It's a revenge game for running back Javonte Williams, who Denver thought was done. Now, they've had success with J.K. Dobbins, but I think looking at what Williams has done in Dallas, they'd rather have him back. So I think Javonte Williams runs for over 100 yards and a score in this game. And pick your poison. George Pickens is becoming a legitimate, not wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1B. He is becoming a superstar before our eyes, and it's because of the expectations that CeeDee Lamb and the professionalism that Dak Prescott has cemented around him. He knows he can't act out. This isn't Pittsburgh anymore. So I believe the Cowboys, I like the overplay here because I believe the Cowboys could put up 35, 42 on their own. And as we saw, the Cowboys do have a very bad defense. And then if Denver can score 33 in the fourth, I think they can put up points as well. But I think it's an emotional letdown for Denver as well.
It feels that way. It really, really feels that way. And this is also, to me, a rubber meets the road type of game. The Cowboys, we joke, but it is true. It's been 28 years, going on 29 years, since they were legitimately somebody you talked about at the end of January. It's absurd that they have gone this long with this amount of talent and with this quarterback under center. So, Raphael, let me come over to you because I would love nothing more than for the Cowboys to be relevant. It's kind of like having the Raiders relevant in the AFC. They are hated. Jerry Jones is hated, but they're hated in such a way that people want them. I mean, Jerry Jones just recently sat down with Stephen A. Smith. I mean, two worlds collide. So, why or how badly do you want the Cowboys to win today? Because me, I'm now backing them every single week because I want the storylines.
Well, the Cowboys are like the Yankees. When the Yankees are winning, it's good for the league. When the Cowboys are winning, it's good for the league. You mentioned CD Lamb. CD Lamb, yeah, wide receiver A, but betting wise, Pickens is wide receiver A. We get more action, not we. The books get more action on Pickens money coming in on receptions, yards, yak, all that than they do for CD Lamb. So that just tells me that the bettors realize, yes, CD Lamb's going to get his, but at the crucial times, because the numbers are totally different, Lamb's always going to have a little bit more betting number higher than Pickens. But the bettors realize, hey, he's the easier target, he's the easier cash. So sooner or later, they're going to have to flip flop.
But what about the props on the other side? Because all we've talked about is CeeDee Lamb, is Dak Prescott. This might be an opportunity, Mikey, to lean in to a opportunity. Oh, there you go. On the Broncos side, thank you, Rafi. Your thoughts? Anything on the Broncos from a props, Mikey perspective?
Well, I think a next T-shirt has been created here. Opportunity here for you, Coach. I like Marvin Mims on his longest reception, whatever that may be. He can take the top off of defenses. And by the way, Ralph, I know you got to go because you got to go play defensive back for the Cowboys today because they have absolutely nobody. Trayvon Diggs placed on IR. They're almost every single starter to start the season for them in the secondary is ruled out of this game. So Bo Nix, maybe on passing yards, passing completions. But I like Marvin Mims at a longest reception because he's their speedster, and I think Knicks could find him down the seam.
I agree with you. But how about the chat? My man Walsey. We didn't even give props where props are due. He goes, speaking of putting up points, how about the Hoosiers covering the over 53 by themselves yesterday? My goodness. My goodness. Quote of the day, which we will absolutely have in sound off. When Signetti was asked before the game, like, the pregame right before kickoff, what scares you the most about this UCLA offense? He goes, you can't play scared. You just got to go out. I'm like, hell yeah! 8 years, 93 million to stay home. And then they go out and dominate 56-6. Ouch. Was that the most surprising outcome, or was there another one, Raphael, that from yesterday that you were like, oh, that's a little interesting?
It was one of them because UCLA was playing much better coming into this
Yeah.
game, especially on the D side. And then when Indiana just made them look foolish by halftime, the game was over. I think they had 35 points by halftime. It was a complete blowout. LSU had to be probably the most talked about disappointing outcome. They're at home. You're in your backyard and you give up 35 plus points in the second half.
Embarrassing. I looked at the second half number, it was 25.5. You could have got the Aggies for -2 in the second half. The Texas A&M cleaned up last night. Why do you have that look on your face, Mikey?
Because the most shocking outcome of college football Saturday was after the punt return touchdown in the LSU game, Brian Kelly going over to his special teams coach going, that will cost you your job. Hey, Brian, look at the final scoreboard. That'll cost you your job.
Did you hear who was on the call? It was Herb Street and Fowler, and they started talking the numbers on the buyout. When they're talking numbers on a buyout during the game, that's a problem. That's a problem. Do we know the number that it would cost LSU?
I think it's 53 or 54.
There you go. $53 million to say bye-bye to Brian Kelly. And you'd put up that picture of him just with his head cocked to the side after another touchdown. I don't know that I've seen an avalanche like that. I looked up and it was 18-14 at halftime. And next thing you knew, it was 49-18.
I think
when
at
you
one
say
time
it
they
out
had
loud.
more special team yardage than LSU had complete yardage.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's an absolute disaster in LSU. It's an absolute disaster. You got these other teams that are playing good football. Ooh. I think you're going to see teams do shorter contracts because a lot of these 5, 6, 7 year deals, they're biting them in the bootay, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's recap our. Yes, Mikey.
Real quick. I just got to
Yeah.
say this because you talked about Kurt and all his great liners. I saw a video this morning when he was the head coach at IUP.
Oh, geez.
Same energy that he had back then that
At
he does now.
IUP? At
Yeah, at
IUP?
IUP, just talking about the game of football, how he's going to coach. Why did we miss out on this guy for so long?
He's the greatest. Him and Lane Kiffin are the two greatest things to ever happen to college football ever. And if I'm a young up and coming coach, I study them. I study them. Here at Coaching Company, behind the scenes, what do? We're always creating characters. We're like, hey, here's where we're going to be in 5 years. It's how we manifest this brand. If I'm a young coach, that's exactly what I'm doing. Or the young kid at Arizona State, how he got his job as the head coach. He started in the film room. He started as an intern. I'd be studying these dudes because staying in the box is not a place I want to be. By the way, did you guys see the field goal kick on game day?
Oof.
$750,000. That dude's he's been a kicker before. He looked like damn Grammatica out there.
Well,
He said he kicked in high school.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay,
Yeah,
see, I knew he had. I just saw the clip on social media. I don't know who's paying all this money because I feel like McAfee's just like $250 for you, $250 for you, $500 for you. I'm like, whoa.
It's like Oprah.
It's actually McAfee paying it. I read it. It was on Sports Illustrated. Dan Orlovsky confirmed it earlier this year, saying, "Yep, he pays it out of his own pocket."
That dude is making so much money. Because also, I don't know if you guys watched the show yesterday, but he was talking about NIL collectives and how. Did you guys see that? And that West Virginia, some dude was supposed to pay. They had to make a payment the next day, and they didn't have the money, so they called McAfee, and he sent it right over in a wire. I don't know how much it was. He didn't say that, but my God, you're calling. I mean, his deal to ESPN is 90-something million.
Did your Kansas college call you for NIL money, coach? Like, if
they call me. Oh, they call me. Yeah,
he just doesn't answer.
I don't call him back. I don't call him back. Well, you got plenty of mine the first time, and I got 2 going next year. So,
Coach, the best part about that game in Missouri Vanderbilt, there's a clip from a Missouri reporter who actually used to play for the Tigers. Two fans jumped the barricade of where the field goal setup is during like a commercial, and they both got off field goal kicks and made them. So the guts to jump the barricade, go back to back, kick the field goal, and make it and not get caught. I think it was awesome.
They didn't get arrested. They just let him do it.
They just did it.
Oh my God.
It's Nashville.
I know McAfee's not everybody's cup of tea, but because of my style and how I've always been, when I look at him, I just see like a leader. Like I see the first time I met Stuart Scott, I was like, man, you're my spirit animal because I'm not your normal sportscaster, and I never have been. And when you see guys like that, McAfee's not normal. He's a unicorn. And I look what he does now. We're never going to swear like he doesn't get away with it, but he's certainly opened the doors for those people who would like to walk through.
He makes Nick Saban look better.
Like I think Saban loves him. Yes.
Nick Saban opens up when he's on the air with, like, he's not as cold and all that. He jokes more around. He smiles a lot more on TV. I like him and them two working together.
Me too. And by the way, he's got the backing of the executives at ESPN as well. He's going nowhere. All right, gentlemen, before we get out of here, enjoy the games today. Let's recap our best bets. We'll then have a whole screen at 7:30 tonight. There's a bunch of green check marks on it. Raphael, big dog, let's start with you. What do we got?
Well, I want to mention first, the Pittsburgh Steelers total just moved to 46. This one opened up at 43.5. So what's it going to be when you guys are on air tonight is going to be astonishing because we could see 50 or 47 by you guys are on air. So keep an eye out for that. My first play, Eagles first quarter -0.5. This is division revenge spot. We all know what happened last on week 6, 34-17. The Giants won. I think the Eagles start off hot. I don't think they're going to end the game hot, but I think they start the game hot. Then Cowboys Broncos over 51. Grab it now. It's going to be 52 or 52 and a half. I just think both offenses are going to put up good points, especially the quarterbacks, Bo Nix and Dak Prescott. I think they both go off. And then give me Drake May over 28 and a half rushing yards. This one opened up at 25 and a half. We're looking for 3 straight quarterback rushing cashes. We've hit one last week easily. A couple weeks ago, we hit Patrick Mahomes pretty easily. I think we hit this one pretty easily.
Yeah, he's my new favorite quarterback in the league. He really, really is. I love this dude. I love how he plays. I love how the team plays around him. Drake May today, first place, by the way, half game ahead of the Bills. Let's not sleep on the Patriots. All right, I'm going to go next. I got 4 big plays. I like the Giants plus 7.5. They just blew out the Eagles by 17. They would have beaten the Broncos if they wouldn't have fallen asleep. Love them getting the hook today. Then a little teaser. Cowboys, let's take them up to 9.5. There's no way they lose by 10 in Denver. And then I like the Bears plus 8. Some places have it at 2.5 already. So that would take you to 8.5. There's no universe that the Ravens with Mr. Huntley are going to beat the Bears by more than 8.5 points. And 2 prop bets, Jackson Dart, the last 2 weeks, he's gotten north of 280. One of those was against the Eagles. And his number's not even to 200. Over 198.5? Yes, please. And then Jamar Chase. He had 16 catches last week. All I need is 8 this week. And it's going to be a tight game because the Browns defense is good. And so Flacco's going to be looking at him the entire game. I'm going to stay away from the yards. Mikey P, you're up.
Give me the Jets and Bengals over 44.5. Both these teams are very, very bad with very, very bad defenses. So I believe there will be a lot of points scored. Coach, you said Drake May was your favorite quarterback. Could I introduce you to Caleb Williams, who will be dumping the ball or handing the ball off to DeAndre Swift? So I have Swift over 71.5 rushing and receiving yards against the last ranked rushing defense in the Baltimore Ravens. Then give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers first half team total over 13.5 at a plus 100 plus money against a Saints defense who is awful in the first half. Yeah, I'll take it. And then George Pickens, not as high as CeeDee Lamb. That's why I love to play here over 56.5 receiving yards. He'll be matched up against the second cornerback in Denver. So I like Pickens a lot here.
All right. I love those best bets. What does nonsense say? My bets are in. Let's make this a huge winning Sunday. I could not agree more. And once again, thank you to Code 3 for riding with us for a couple of weeks. All right. Final takes, boys, as we get out of here. And sometimes you have days where on paper, the games don't look that great. And then they end up being amazing. I'm hoping today is one of those days. Raphael, start us off.
I'm going to add the Monday night game. I know people are going to do teasers and parlays and moneyline parlays. Grab the Kansas City Chiefs. There's 3 books that still have 11 on there. If you're going to add the Chiefs to anything, you add it today, not tomorrow, because tomorrow will be 12. There's already 112 offshore. We could see 12.5 on the Chiefs. So if you're going to add the Chiefs to anything you do today's card, add it early because that number will not be there by tomorrow morning.
All right. Shout out to Nonsense for a little good juju. A super sticker. We appreciate that. Obviously goes to the platform, which is always something that's ever evolving. So thank you, Nonsense. I feel that good juju. Mikey, final take. How's your juju?
Well, you like good juju. I like good, better, best until your good gets better and your better gets best. Let's go. Listen, all you can do is play the teams and the rosters that are put on the field in front of you, but never mind the Chicago Bears because I don't like to show my fandom at all. Let's have chaos today. I love chaos. Let's just see chaos all over the place. Hey, Panthers, why don't you bring some more chaos and beat the Bills today?
I would love that. I would love that because as a resident Chiefs fan, I am not worried about the Denver Broncos taking home the number 1 seed. I'll still give that to the Buffalo Bills. I need them before we go there in a couple of weeks to have a couple more losses. Also, it would really hurt their confidence to lose to the Panthers in Charlotte. So today, there's a lot of teams that have got to focus on what's in front of them and not what's going to be out there in the month of November. It's the last Sunday in October, so it's time to really get serious. Gentlemen, well done today. I will see Mikey, you tonight. Raphael, you have a great day, my brother. All right, it's now time for all of you to go out into the world to be nice to one another, be kind to each other, and let's cash those tickets. I told you, our week starts today. We're going back the other way. It's a rebound week here at the show. And also, for those of you watching, this whole week, it's guest hosting week on Coach and Company. I'll fill you in on that tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But for now, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window for my entire team. Damn it, do I love them all. My man Mikey P doing double duties, also on the ones and the twos. My man Raphael, producer man, always hovering to make sure everything goes all right. And I am simply the coach trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. That's what we're all about every single day right here on Coach and Company. We'll see you tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Good luck. Let's cash those tickets.